Money FM 89.3. Best of breakfast. The Bigger Picture, only on Money FM 89.3.
Good morning. Welcome to The Bigger Picture with me, Audrey Siek. Now, innovation is the buzzword for businesses today, but for many SMEs, putting it into practice is much easier said than done. Despite government support in areas like AI, digitalisation, and sustainability, too many companies still struggle to adopt the right technologies and scale up effectively. With Tech Innovation 2025 coming up at the end of this month at MBS, the spotlight is firmly on how innovation can unlock new markets and drive growth. So how do we turn policy into practice and make innovation work for real businesses? So happy to be joined by Michael Goh, CEO of IPI Singapore. Michael, it's great to have you in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on the station today. To answer the question, I think many SMEs faces challenges because really, if we look at the perspective, SMEs are usually, especially the smaller ones, they are very small in size. The leaderships could be just one or two person, and they are always torn between meeting cash flow, driving innovation. So there's a lot of things on their mind all the time. So in terms of innovation, many of them that we interact with, they understand it is essential for growth. It's the how they go about it.
Yeah.
So I think the way that would work for them is what in IPI we call bite-sized innovation. How they could go about it is really to look at that project that they're working on, develop milestones that they can achieve, low-hanging fruits, quick wins, that will motivate them to move to the next thing. So this is what we call bite-sized innovation. And if they do that well, it encourages them to move on to the next thing. And innovation is really a journey.
Okay.
So by doing this, it gets them to a better place.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Singapore government, putting a lot of resources into supporting innovation, from AI to sustainability. But yet many SMEs still find it so tough to grow. So why do you think this kind of support alone isn't enough to bridge this gap?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, innovation is really a journey. And many a times, getting SMEs to innovate, that journey can sometimes, especially at the leadership level, it can be quite lonely because they're just one person. And many a times, there's a little bit of angst. They say, hey, if I do this, where are the pitfalls? And what the government has done is they set up entities like IPI where we provide innovation advisory. So we have a pool of semi-retired individuals who are retired from their former C-suite roles. They provide advisory to help these SME leaders navigate some of these pitfalls they could encounter. So this acts as a bouncing board for them. And I think over the years, we've seen more than 100 companies embarking on this innovation project with us. And it has helped them journey that challenges as they go along. So that's the various help that is available to help SMEs.
Yeah, so you guys have seen through and spoken to so many businesses and SMEs. What are the biggest technology roadblocks these SMEs are facing now? Is it a matter of not having the right tools, or is it a skills issue, like lacking the know-how to use them effectively?
Many a times when we talk about innovation, it's quite a broad spectrum. When we talk about challenges SME face, I think the practicality side of things is SME are always looking for quick wins and they want to have quick revenue coming in. So I think the challenge they face is how do they find that particular technology or best fit technology that can help them bridge that gap and quickly capture the market. So I think these are the challenges they face, and they can come to organizations like IPI where we help them find best fit technology from our global sources of technology, from regional, from outside Singapore, to bring them together in a co-creation model where two organizations comes together and they partner each other, leverage on each other's strength, and overcome some of these gaps.
Okay, so IPI offers advisory services for these businesses. Can you explain why collaboration is such a critical piece of the puzzle for these SMEs?
Definitely. For SMEs, they are always resource-strapped. Some of them may be able to do R&D. That could be a long-haul process. But many a times, what they're looking for are quick wins, which is what I spoke about earlier about bite-sized innovation. How do you get this quick win is through partnerships. If you are able to find another partner who has very high readiness technology that you can quickly integrate into your product or process, you run faster. So collaboration and partnership becomes very, very important. And the key thing is to find the right partner who has that missing piece of technology that you're looking for. And And there's no need to reinvent the wheel, because we truly believe in open innovation, and the concept of open innovation is that there is someone out there who probably has that particular piece of solution that you're looking for. You don't need to reinvent it. It's just how do you reach out to find those technology.
Yeah, and this partner may not necessarily be in Singapore. It could also be a regional partner or a global partner. How important is this kind of cross-border collaboration when it comes to resilience? What opportunities do you see emerging in the next few years?
Oh, it's definitely very important. And I think we know this very well. All businesses understand the Singapore market is very small. So I think I just want to encourage SMEs to, right from the onset, have the international mindset, meaning looking at the international market as your end objective, then working backwards. So cross-border collaboration opens up many dimensions of opportunities. It's not only about access to technology, but if you find the right partner, it opens up new market potentially. And you don't have to, from the onset, invest a lot of capital by setting up a new entity, but because through partnership, perhaps you can work through your partners, if you can establish a good working model to open new markets there, and then you progress from there. You can grow from there. So you use that as a springboard to get to where you want to be. Okay,
so important to have partnerships, and technology is one thing, but these days businesses also need to think about sustainability, and we know that could feel like a very tough balancing act, especially for small businesses. And sustainability is a huge push globally and here in Singapore. How can innovation actually make sustainability achievable and profitable?
That's a good question, and in fact, I would like to share. Perhaps we could reframe the question to look at sustainability as an opportunity rather than a compliance and cost perspective. Case in point, one of the SME that we work with, they are producing this personal care product. It is in a liquid form. If they choose to ship this overseas in the individual packaging, it would cost quite a bit. And there's a lot of wastages in terms of the packages. So what they cleverly did is they, instead of shipping this as individual package, they ship it in bulk over to overseas location, and they work with a partner to do the packaging over there. In that logistic process, you end up saving quite a bit of not only money, but actually achieving some ESG goals as well, because you don't use that much space, you don't use less energy. Yeah. So reframing the sustainability opportunity is the key. We have also seen SME looking at sustainability from the other perspective as energy saving. How do they use technology to save energy? And from that way, it's a direct impact on their bottom line as well.
Okay.
So that is a different framing. I would suggest everyone to look at sustainability.
Yeah, changing the mindset.
Yeah.
Okay. And so before you go, Michael, I want to talk to the SME owners who are possibly listening today. What's one practical step you think they can take to embrace innovation without feeling, too overwhelmed by all of the buzzwords?
I think the key thing is to be very clear about what you're adopting innovation for. What is the end in mind? Where is that business case? How does it help your company bring you to a higher plane? And always keep that in mind, the international dimension where you are looking at international customers. From there, you can then take the next step and ask yourself, do you want to develop this solution yourself, or do you want to leverage on intermediaries like IPI, organizations like IPI, or the tech innovation that is coming up, where you can find regional technology owners of the right mindset to partner you to bring you to the next mile. I think that is something more tenable for SMEs, and you can move faster because you're dealing with high readiness technology.
All right, some practical insights on how SMEs can navigate innovation, technology, and sustainability. And we were joined by Michael Goh, CEO of IPI Singapore. Thank you so much for your time, Michael. It was great chatting with you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. That was your Bigger Picture on Money FM 89.3.
Before acting on the information on Money FM, please consider if it's suitable for your own investment objectives, financial situation, and risk tolerance.
Money FM 89.3.